Good evening, guys. This side Rahul Magan here is a Group Chief Executive Officer Treasury Consulting and also a venture capitalist. Treasury Consulting is a Singaporean based multinational headquartered group and soon would be either London or New York based headquartered group. On time to time basis, our YouTube channel keeps covering mutual funds. And many people came to me and said that why you do not have 1 million viewers on your YouTube channel. We serve the class, not the mass. We don't share the videos which please everybody. We share the videos who only please the class. And when we covering our videos about the mutual funds, then there is a hell lot of action which is happening in the mutual fund, and we know that financial literacy is one of the weakest point we have in India. Unfortunately, even after 74 years of independence, financial literacy is one of the weakest point, and that is not restricted to the people to whom you mention as uneducated. Rather, there are many educated people we have who are working as a director finance, or maybe at a senior designations. For them, financial literacy is always an issue. In fact, I told you that I met with one of the so-called, I don't wanted to use any term, and this guy is getting all government benefits, and when I told him about SBLC, he was not aware about even SPLC, standby letter of credit. On time to time basis, we keep covering the mutual funds in India. And very soon we start covering mutual funds in US also, which is known as MMF, Money Market Mutual Funds. Now the scene is like that. 1 week ago, I got a call from a relationship manager. I really do not know how much you know about Treasury Consulting, but Treasury Consulting Indian entity invests in top 10 mutual funds of India. So Kotak Mutual Fund, ICICI, SBI, Birla, HDFC, Nippon, and almost all mutual funds we are covering. So we continue to get a lot of calls from the relationship managers of the mutual fund. So I got a call from one of the mutual funds. I don't want you to reveal the name. And they said that we are launching a multi-asset fund and we are looking for your investment. God is very kind that Treasury Consulting is a cash-rich company, and unlike the so-called startups, we are not dependent upon the venture capitalists. So we decided to go ahead, no problem. There was a presentation that was scheduled on Saturday around 11 a.m. and trust me, I was live around 10:30. It's a pretty nice mutual fund and generating good returns. So I thought that this mutual fund presentation would be good. Let's join and see what. But guys, trust me, when the presentation started and it goes on, it was like, at a given point of time, I was like, whether they deserve to be a mutual fund or not. So this is part A of the story. Part B of the story is the memory. Now you must be thinking, from where did the memory came? 2 months ago, all newspapers of India were full of Franklin Mutual Fund. Almost everyone is covering Franklin Mutual Fund, but not the way it should be, rather formality. Because Franklin, without any intimation, closed 6 schemes and around 30,000 crores something worth of the investors' wealth were at stake. And even after 2 months, the issue has not yet resolved. All those people who invested in credit risk fund, they are still struggling for the final settlement, and I'm sure that the final settlement will not come easily. And there are a lot of twists that they are going to be facing soon. I'm not revealing now. You know, our media. This is part B. So part A is the financial literacy, part B is the memory. And I'm damn sure that if I ask a question from most of the people, then most of the people, even till now not remembered that how many schemes did Franklin Mutual Fund closed. And out of these schemes, how many were liquid and how many were credit risk. India is a country where a mutual fund came, create a fancy term and raise the money. Investors give the money. And after a certain period of time, they are not accountable for any return. Mutual fund having complete hand to close that scheme without any intimation. This is how the AMC asset management companies work. And nowadays there is a new fashion which is going inside fashion going in Indian mutual funds, and once again the I would say the media is giving a hype to that. Because of course, how would a novice investor who do not understand the difference between liquid and liquid plus mutual funds forget the credit risk mutual fund, the dynamic mutual fund, and all this, how he would be getting this news? So the media is once again giving attention to that mutual fund because media. And the latest in the entry is multi-asset fund. There are two kinds of multi-asset funds which we have across the globe. One is the direct multi-asset fund and one is the cross multi-asset fund. When I look at this newspaper, which is published on 14th of August, there is a guy called Jodip Sen who wrote about multiple asset fund. I think Jodip need knowledge because he not mentioned that what are the various type of multi-asset fund we have. One is a direct multi-asset fund and one is the cross multi-asset fund. So what is direct and indirect? That's a good question. So direct multi-asset fund means that 20% equity, 10% currencies, say 20% currencies, 20% commodities, and rest bonds. All four are not talking with each other. But is that possible? No. That is not possible. In this financial world, and specifically talking after 2008, any asset class talking with other asset class is always possible. And when they talk with each other, this creates a term which is known as pseudo-talk. Example. When the coronavirus, before Russia came in public domain and said that they are looking forward, they got a vaccine, and President Putin said that her daughter also vaccinated with the same vaccine, gold was almost around 2060. And gold and yen, Japanese yen, were having a correlation with each other. I'm sure that 90% people even do not know that gold and yen is having correlation with each other, because many people feel that gold and dollar is having correlation with each other. And because of this correlation, euro was long. Now the scene is the yen and dollar correlation has broken, completely broken. And because of this broken stuff, the euro is losing its appetite. This is because all asset classes are talking with each other. Because of the gold fall, the currencies talk with the gold is coming in a different direction. This is known as cross multi-asset fund. Devising a straight or direct multi-asset fund is very difficult. It is like tracking Mount Everest without oxygen, without map, without GPS, without satellite phone. But unfortunately, there are many players we have in India, and specifically talking Indian mutual funds, those who are launching multi-asset fund without explaining this. Like that Treasury Consulting always speak with facts. There was a recent NFO, new fund offer from Motilal Oswal AMC that has fixed allocation to international equities, but allocation across other asset is not defined. Example, it will be decided by the fund manager. There are funds like ICICI Potential Multi-Asset, largest corpus in this category, multi-asset category. Axis Triple Advantage Fund, Tata Multi-Asset Opportunities Fund, and HDFC Multi-Asset Fund that invest domestic equities, debt, and gold. The allocation to a particular asset at a point of time is decided by the AMC within the range the asset is defined in the mandate of the fund. The other approach is to have a defined allocation to a particular asset without the influence of fund manager. There is an upcoming NFO, Nippon India Multi-Asset Fund, that has a discipline-based approach to allocation, and the fund will invest 50% domestic equity, 20% overseas commodities, 15%, which includes 10% gold, and 15% in debt. Okay, guys. Einstein, Edison, and Newton together. Einstein, Edison, and Newton together cannot deny the fact that 50% domestic equity, 20% overseas equity, 15% commodities, which includes 10% gold, and 15% debt will not talk with each other. But I'm sure the relationship managers, those who are selling such products, they themselves do not know about this concept. And the investors, those who are investing in this concept or in such funds, forget their education. End result, open Google and just check how many schemes closed, how many schemes closed in the last 3 years, plus how many schemes segregated in the last 3 years. You will get my answer. Before closing this video, I would like to summarize one thing very clearly. Straight to the point. Mutual fund industry first utmost responsibility is to educate the people so that they can understand the difference. Before launching any NFO, it should be mandated that they launch a video which explained everything about the NFO. But I would like to throw a challenge to all the viewers here, and if there are any viewers from mutual funds who are watching the video and they feel offended, let it be. Let me know, is your NFO is a direct multi-asset or a cross multi-asset? Treasury Consulting Hedge Fund always write cross multi-asset hedge fund. We are always cross. We are straight. Happy Hindi media. Hindi media is not always TV. Hindi media is not always the political motivated news. It's not all about the agenda. Hindi media is sometimes, or most of the times, the business newspapers who print news without even knowing the key facts. Hindi media is about those people, those for the sake of PR, write an article in the media and share the link on WhatsApp and Facebook. But they need to understand one thing very carefully, that Treasury Consulting is competent enough to challenge anyone in this globe. After 4 years of incorporation, Treasury Consulting is able to challenge even a central bank of any globe. Forget Hindi media. And I'm damn sure that several hundred people will invest in the multi-asset fund, except Treasury Consulting. And how much return they would be generating, they would soon get to know. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting. You know our WhatsApp, 9818485155. We need to understand one thing, that today is Sunday. Majority of the people are having holidays, watching movies on Amazon Prime, and a lot of such stuff. But I am live on my Bloomberg and Reuters, and would be live till 3 a.m. because to me, financial literacy and financial knowledge is more important than Amazon Prime. After credit risk fund, the industry got another fancy word, multi asset fund. Have a great time. Talk soon, guys.